My name is Chase McCormick, and I am terrible with money. Well, that's not true. I am really good at spending it. I'm a starving artist who no longer wanted to starve. I make paintings that nobody wants to look at, music that nobody wants to listen to, clothes that nobody wants to wear, and movies that nobody wants to produce. While I initially started working in finance to fund my creative endeavors, I quickly fell in love with my new role and company. I was selected to be the new social media and events coordinator at the most fun firm in finance. While I don't know much about finance, I've certainly developed an interest to start investing in my future. That's why I thought it would be exciting for me to sit down with financial experts at our company, because if they can teach it to me, they can teach it to you. Please remember that nothing we say here should be taken as personal advice. This conversation is for entertainment purposes only. If you have questions about your financial situation, please talk to a licensed financial advisor. And don't f*** around and forget about pet insurance, by the way. It's important. Okay, Steve's dog ate a sock. You want to pay $8,000 for that? You got $8,000? No, you're going to put your dog down like a heartless son of a...
Nothing but trouble on my mind. That's the attitude that got my ass off the sidelines. You either ride pine and cry about playing time, or you play the game divine, apply the pain, and embrace the grind.
Welcome back to Finding Finance. Here we are. Another glorious day at Gerber Kawasaki out here in sunny Santa Monica. I've got my good friend Steve on the podcast.
Let's go.
Veronica made banana bread.
The best.
Even went in the kitchen, got my favorite Celsius. Flavor was still in there somehow. It's only Wednesday. Introducing my good friend, Mr. Steven Evensen. Swear to God, that's his real name. We call him Steve. Big Steve, Dirty Steve, whatever you want to call him.
Whatever you want. Good
friend of mine, even better financial advisor. Welcome to the podcast, Steve.
Excited to be here. Let's go. Finance, huh?
Big day, big day. People around here are starting to wonder what exactly this whole podcast thing is, right? I don't exactly know. They don't exactly know. Sometimes Alex can put it into words, but Alex is still confused. But here we are, fresh off Detroit Lions, big week 1 win. Wednesday, first time we ever recorded in the morning, too. Usually we're an afternoon podcast. Steve fit us in. 10:30 a.m., 75 degrees and sunny out here in Santa Monica. We too f***ing blessed. Pretty good intro, huh? What should we talk about? I think we could talk about the Lions a little bit.
Chase, can you maybe do what we talked about earlier?
Detroit.
Give him a little update on like what you've done
I'm
so far.
talking big bleaching. I'm talking update. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, update on each episode. What happened last episode? What'd you do yesterday that was kind of big for the pod?
Don't even want to think about last episode though. I'm thinking about what you said about yesterday.
Go episode by episode so I can get a playback.
You signed something yesterday that.
Oh yeah, that's why I don't want to talk about next episode.
So start with episode 1.
All right, episode 1, Finding Finance. Well, I guess that's the name now. We calculated my net worth, $56. Episode 2, me and Jimmy talked about a bunch of bullshit, but we ended up actually getting the passwords to my accounts. So it turned out my net worth is roughly $3-4 grand due to my retirement account, which I technically can't touch for a long time. So is it real money? Is it not? I talk a lot with other people about that.
It's absolutely real money, but
people... My friends don't seem to think so. My work friends are all like, that's real money. That's important. They always say compound interest. And then my boys are like, come on. That's $500 a month that we could be spending on God knows what. And I'm like, you kind of right, though.
You could do a little of both.
Yeah, a little of both is good.
It's healthy.
Episode 2. What else did we talk about with Jimmy? Do you remember anything? Price loss harvesting.
That's not
tax loss harvesting.
Tax loss harvesting. I feel like we talk about NVIDIA a lot too.
Cool.
Yeah.
What did you and Mia talk about?
Tech company. So then after Jimmy, we had Big Z on. Oh. And I know the listeners remember that episode. I'm talking Big Z. I'm talking big bleaching. I'm talking rates on rates on rates.
Rates.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about rate of interest, rate of change, home buying, car rates, rating pasta, rating pizza, rating salad. And the thing about me and Z is we had a little disagreement over the cone broccoli. I liked it. I thought the cone broccoli was good. He was more like, this is kind of the worst pasta on the menu. So Alfredo cone broccoli, oh, so good.
3-5. I hated that one.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was kind of like the big moment of the episode, I would say, or at least how I remember it. But also ate some salad. The veggie pizza shocked my mind because it's like you don't think you want the vegetables on the pizza. And to be honest, I probably won't order veggie pizza ever again, but it exceeded expectations. And I think I'm always going to have that little moment with the vegetables. So I guess my first question, Steve, is what's your favorite thing on the Il Forno Power menu?
Caesar salad.
It's a favorite around here.
Classic. Go to.
And do you use the Caesar dressing on it?
I do.
So can I tell you about something I've kind of discovered is I put the Italian dressing on the Caesar salad.
I love Caesar dressing.
I like the cheap shit,
Yeah.
but the thing about Il Forno is they're talking real fish and the real Caesar. And that's a lot for a guy like me.
It's fair.
So, I don't know. I think maybe I'll try it again, but
What did
it's,
what did you and Mia talk about? Update me the whole thing.
all right.
And
The
what did you
Mia
sign,
episode
too?
got
I'm curious
intense.
now. Yeah, what happened here?
Well, the Mia episode did get pretty intense, and
Is this the budget episode?
so I mean, I felt like we had a lot of like budgeting kind of meetings, like leading up to it. It's like, okay, first I'm trying to calculate my net worth. Then I meet with Jimmy to calculate my net worth. I think we kind of got there, but there's some didn't quite feel real enough, you know. Me and Z had rates.
Yeah.
And then Mia. And I'll be honest, I was nervous. Mia kept canceling on me, so she thought. But really, it felt like I was subconsciously delaying my own dark, doomed fate. Because, guys, you have to realize that meeting with your financial advisor can be very scary. It's daunting. To really sit down with someone and open up about your own struggles, your own findings. No, damn, I could have gone for a pun there. What was it been? I don't know. Okay. Why was I nervous about the Mia podcast? Well, I had a lot of debt. I bought a lot of t-shirts. Though there was talk of alcoholism as we went through my finances because a lot of trips to that liquor store. I only made 2 grocery trips the whole month because we went over thing by thing. And it was like over 40 trips to the liquor store across from my apartment. And then also the coffee.
Maybe making some coffee at home.
I've got that machine you guys gave me. And I think that, I don't know if you guys got the phone call with my mom, if you heard any about that. Oh, my mom's calling.
Hey, cutie, how are you?
Good. Just started my podcast with Steve today. I just want to get you on and say something. If you want to say something to the listeners, though, this could be a good moment for you to impart some financial wisdom.
I said I'm the spender, not the saver.
Hey, and I get it from my mama. But the whole financial struggle, I think, really comes back to my upbringing. Literally, I asked my mom about 4 minutes ago, where were we on 9/11? What does she say? We went to Starbucks, and then we were shopping at Nordstrom's Rack. And when you look back on my expenses for the last month, it's Blossom Coffee and t-shirts on Depop and hoodies. So it's interesting. I think we're going to get into the subconscious of finance. But upon sitting down with Mia and really discussing my finances, and, you know, I was proud of myself because I thought I was saving money. I was trying to, like, you know, really not go on any expensive dates. I think I only logged 1 the whole month. I thought that was going to be really good. But what ended up happening was
2 dates. Yeah, 2 dates.
2 dates was a lot of drinking and a lot of subsequent t-shirt buying. And yeah, there's a lot of snacking in there too. I get a lot of snacks from the liquor store, but I'll be honest, I'm not proud of it. I don't want my mom to see that episode because she'd assume the worst. And I know my What is the name for our audience? Is it the fishies or the swimmers or something? Welcome back to Finding Finance, my little financial fishies. All my little swimmers out there. This is getting framed, by the way. This is my budget we worked out with Mia, so.
There we go. What do we got here?
Not my budget, but what I spent last month. So, not super proud of it.
Dining, liquor, Lyft, groceries, miscellaneous, Depop. Okay.
But after looking at all those Depop charges and thinking about the weekend we had, does it kind of make sense?
Did we add everything up total? Do we have any totals here? Or you just...
It was exactly whatever I make, so like $4,000.
Oh, so you were even. Okay.
I'm even
Got it.
Steven.
No, he's in a deficit.
You were in a deficit.
I'm not in a
for the month.
deficit.
You have a deficit.
I'm close though.
Okay. So
And
you're going
also,
negative. You doubled your contributions though, right?
and now he knows.
There we go.
I can probably remember. So
I didn't want to say it.
You doubled your contributions. That's nice.
I gotta
We love
keep-
to see it.
So coming off last episode, things are changed. Look at me in the eyes. It's different now. I went from $400 a month into this whole retirement account, which seems like a Ponzi scheme a little bit, but
We
we'll
can
talk
unpack
about
that later.
compound
Yeah.
interest and things.
you had not just
And I
retirement.
trust Mia. It's not that I don't trust Mia. Like, I'll get as much money as she says to give her, I'll give her. And this is the point. Even though I'm a little unsure about this whole IRA, like I've got one Roth, I've got another Roth. It's like, okay, whatever. But now I'm up over $800 a month that I'm just handing to Mia, praying that I can trust her.
You're really saving for yourself though, right? Like me as your advisor, it's your money though. At the end of the day,
I
you're taking
think-
care of your future self.
I
Future
think-
Dennis is going to be proud of you for sure.
That's true. Future
100%.
Dennis,
You're
bro.
gonna look back in a couple of years. He'll be at the beach with your mom, hanging out in Florida.
I got to talk to future Dennis about that.
Yeah, he's going to
That's a
thank
good
you.
call.
That's what you got to do. Me as your advisor, it's your money. She's the CFO of your life. You're the CEO.
Damn.
You know?
And who's the COO?
Whoever you
Arlen's
want.
the CEO,
Yeah, whoever you
COO,
want.
and then you
Maybe
met
it's
VP
Alex.
John though too.
Who's VP John? Oh, I did.
Yeah, VP John.
Yeah.
Yeah, VP Big and Bleach. Alex, what do you think about? What do you want to be?
CMO.
CMO, but I think yeah. But it's like, is he the marketing guy or is he like more like the publicist almost? Because it's like you got to think about. He's got the footage to my deepest, darkest brain rants and thoughts. Usually this isn't at 10 a.m. when I'm still on like good dentist behavior. It's usually like 1 p.m. when I'm just like been in this room for like 4 or 5 hours. I'm just like, ah, you know, it's like he could do anything. So I think it's like what he chooses to publicize out of my life. Is there a chief branding officer?
It's like a CMO.
But also in class last night, we learned about how PR and advertising is actually a big part of marketing. And we
For sure.
actually discussed that last night. Professor AJ, shout out Detroit. So maybe he is our CMO. And I like that.
I like it.
I like it a lot.
Can you? Let's see if you can tell Steve all the accounts you have. Like,
Okay.
you still seem to be a little bit iffy on
Account
what accounts
view?
you have. No. What different investment accounts do you actually have?
Okay.
And how is it split up? This $800 you're now contributing, which
That'd
I
be
don't
great.
think we're still that clear on that you've made that change.
No, I signed the
I'm going to ask you about your financial goals at 1.2 and what you want to do with
cool.
your money.
That was the one thing I thought Mia could have really hit me harder on is like, what are you going to do? But I take that back because when I said buy a car, she said, you told me that you were going to invest in Detroit. And then I was like, damn, maybe she is my best friend. 'Cause she really understood that. And people don't talk about that enough. People don't talk about what future Dennis is going to do. Steve's here talking about future Den,
Future Dennis.
and he knows. And when I'm on the beach with my mom, drinking mimosas that I paid for off a fucking Roth IRA,
There we go.
God's gonna be happy.
Everyone's going to be happy.
Everybody's gonna be happy. Steve's gonna be happy. Mia's gonna be happy. Alex is gonna be happy.
All right, tell me about your accounts. What do you got set up?
Okay, I got 2 Roths, right?
You got a Roth 401k.
Roth 401k.
Good work, which they match you. 5%.
My boys. And
Thanks,
that's the
Ross
thing.
and
We do
Danilo.
a lot of thank yous to Ross and Danilo on here because those guys, man, matched. Matched.
Love that.
Okay, and then I've got another Roth. That's an IRA. So 2 Roths, and then
How much you contribute
I
to
think
each of
that's
those?
it. Well, it went from 200 each to 400 each.
400 each.
Yeah.
Okay.
800. Wait.
Do you have a
400
brokerage account?
each. Do I have a brokerage account?
So here's the thing we've been dealing with is the difference between a 401k. He keeps calling them Roths, which I think is a bad way to classify them
Sure.
in general. He has a 401k that is a Roth 401k as well as a regular 401k because of the way it's matched, right?
Yeah.
So that's one thing. That hasn't changed. You've still been putting the same amount since the first episode. What changed is what you've put into your Roth IRA and what goes into your non-retirement account. So maybe we can discuss that here.
Okay. Do you know the difference between the Roth IRA and the non-retirement account?
No. People always keep saying I have a non-retirement account. I don't know what that is, actually.
It's like a brokerage account.
So that's
Same thing,
like I could
similar
take it
words.
out anytime.
Take it out anytime.
Is that my American Fund Index?
Depends on me is investing for you, right?
I'm a growth
But
fund. Is that my growth fund now?
Depends on how she's investing.
High yield
you,
savings?
but for the brokerage account.
Do I own any
right?
bonds, do you think? No bonds.
We'll have to ask your advisor. But
Okay.
for the brokerage account, the whole purpose of the funds is to be
Okay.
able to take it out, right? So all our clients have these, or a lot of these do, and they're saving for homes, right? They want to take it out earlier for retirement. They don't want to be 60 years old on a beach paying with a Roth IRA, right? Maybe they want to use it for a car. Maybe they want to use it for vacation. Maybe they want to use it for a down payment. Homes aren't particularly cheap here in Los Angeles, right? So it gives you the flexibility to use a bit earlier. So it's nice to have two kind of
Okay.
buckets, right?
Yeah.
Paying for retirement.
Paying for
You know,
retirement.
go ahead and hang out in Florida.
Florida.
As well as you want to go ahead and have a condo, place in Detroit, whatever. You have the
the
brokerage
vibes
account that gives you
popping,
more
yeah.
flexibility.
All right.
So what's in these accounts? Like, so now we know what you have.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
and then the one that's matched is the 401k.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ross and Danilo.
That's probably the American funds.
American
Growth fund.
funds, growth funds.
Do you know what that is?
Yeah, so it's American, it's like the top American companies. And so it's a lot of tech funds, right? And
growth,
it's
yeah.
like more risky. That's why they call it growth, but it just
Yeah.
means it's more of a risk. I had a question for you. So you were talking about I have one account that I can take the money out at any time.
Correct.
What's the downside to that?
The downside is you don't get the tax benefits you would with
Okay.
an IRA or with a 401k,
Sure.
right? So within this brokerage account, gives you the flexibility. But let's say you had $10,000, you grow it to 15 to buy your car from Detroit. What you want to do? You can pay taxes on the gain, right? So you're going to pay taxes on the $5,000. Usually it's around 15% long-term capital gains, depending on your situation. But you're paying a bit in taxes there, right?
And capital gains, that's from Monopoly?
Not just from Monopoly, it happens in real life too. It's when your investments grow.
Okay.
Okay, your advisor's doing your job. You do have to pay a bit of taxes on it, but
Okay.
at the same time, you have more money, right? So
And that's the weird thing about Monopoly is the older you get, the more you actually find out that a lot of it's real.
100%.
And that's why I wish Candy Cane was more like Monopoly, and then you could just kind of like go through the candy cane forest or, you know, gumdrop pop or
Candyland.
Candyland. What did I say?
Candy cane.
But also Elf. Remember in Elf, there's that scene with the candy cane forest.
That's my favorite movie of all
That's why I
time.
pointed at you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Passion fruit spray. Remember that scene? Next thing on the agenda. Next thing on the agenda.
Let's talk about Big and
Did
Bleach.
he wear the bleach T-shirt? Didn't
Yeah,
wear
let's
it,
talk
bro.
about Big and Bleach. I didn't wear it.
All right.
I don't think Danilo would like it, but I brought it. You want to check it out?
You brought it? First bleach shirt on the pod, bro.
Check it out. This is
Hook the
Chase's
boy up
work.
with the Ralph Lauren.
Check it out. Explain it. What you do to
Damn,
it?
bro.
How'd you start?
All right, let's
Talk to us
see.
about
Let
it.
me look at it. Okay. It's a little muddy, but I don't hate it. Some interesting dyes in it. I would say this is a pretty good one. I really, you never know with the fabric, but Ralph Lauren is a timeless bleachable fabric. The more expensive, the more kind of textures and colors you're going to get. That's why you even get these little hits of like bright blue is because the fabric is really special.
Could you tell me a little bit about Big and Bleach? How you started, growing the business? I know that was a lot of your
Should we hang it
expenses
there,
from
maybe?
last time. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's Big and Bleach? Why'd you start it?
Okay.
What is it?
Let me start from really the beginning.
Not the beginning. Just like,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh my God, 1 second. Oh, love of my life is FaceTiming me. Because we're on here to talk about true love, right?
No, I don't.
She is in town. Hey. We're podcasting right now. Just say hello to the viewers.
Hello, everybody.
And that's what really the thing about why are we having Steve on today is we're here to talk about true love. Steve was recently a married man, preparing his financial situation. It changes when you get married. And so with my love of my life being in town, Steve recently married. Steve also the only person that responded when I asked him to do the podcast yesterday. The culmination of these things makes me think that this would be a good time to talk about love. We'll get to that. How did Big and Bleach start?
Oh, that was so good.
That was good. I know. That was good, right?
You were going
should've
into
kept
like I had forgotten we talked about that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you should have just kept going there. But
No, it was good. We got to get to that.
Let's see, I
bro.
got that. I got that clip.
you got the clip.
We-
Yeah,
You can talk about whatever you want. Then
We'll
just
do
make
Big
sure
and
you
Bleach, and then we'll do combining finances.
Yeah, I
We'll
know.
do
I've got a
saving for
whole
wedding.
agenda of to talk about. We're obviously going to talk about your background. What are you going to be for Halloween? We've got a ton of questions before we really.
I got to like 12.
Yeah.
This happens often where
We
I
got
get
50 minutes, brother.
I get so excited where he's like on a roll and then he
he's
just takes it somewhere
Yeah, he
else.
tangent. I was ready to dive. I was ready to go. No.
I have no deep dive.
All right, we'll do Big and Bleach and let's pivot back.
Sorry, my heart's just
Yeah,
pounding
yeah,
on my
yeah.
chest. Oh, my God. Doesn't she have a pretty voice, though?
She loves you, bro.
I know. The hottest person in the world just said she loves me. So, I mean, I don't even really want to podcast anymore, but I will power through.
Tell me about Big and Bleach. Tell me about the business.
So, as
Tell
I
me
was
about the spending.
graduating college, I was terrified my whole senior year about not having a job. Little did I know God would take care of me and give me the best job in the world, the best company in the world, but I didn't know that for sure. So upon graduation, I moved over at UCLA. I had to share a room. I was super poor. I had to share a room. And I had so much fucking clothes that I was like, I need to get rid of these and sell these to support myself, pay rent, but also that's like not even like they could fit in. And so basically I had already been bleaching clothes here and there, but then like the last couple months of school, I just started fucking big and bleaching and selling and sold like hundreds and hundreds of dollars like my first couple days. Like people at LMU
awesome.
loved them. It was like really, really special thing. And it doesn't come cheap. I'll tell you, like those first couple days were, you know, there's a lot of learning experiences when you're building a bleach empire, but some of the most fun, happy memories of the company. And then for about a month was just like further applying to jobs. So I interviewed for this job like 5 or 6 days before I graduated. And then I sent a follow-up or two and then didn't get the job offer till like exactly a month. I think it was May 31st was the date, something like that. So that whole time I was like further bleaching clothes to support myself. And then I got this job and I was still an intern making a couple $100 a week. But I also then said, F it, I'm going to put down a down payment on Alex's old apartment across the street. So that was $3,000, first month's rent plus down payment. So then that was all the money I had. After that, it was after July, it was like never really had more than $400 or $500 in my bank account. So much fun. Me and Arlen and John and my girlfriend at the time. It was like bleaching shirts, going down to Venice, bleach them on the boardwalk. Like our first time, like I never would have thought someone would buy something off the disgusting boardwalk. That was before I even used a tarp. Like my first time in Venice wasn't even using a tarp, just laying out shirts, pouring bleach on them. It's not a bad sales pitch because it's technically like the strongest cleaner that you can. So you're kind of like, well, it's really actually clean technically, but those are really fun memories. And then basically I got my corporate dentist job. That was like actually my year reviews like today or next week or something. So
there you go.
Celebrating that. But then since then I've just been at a war with boredom. Boredom. It's like you work all day and then you go home and it's like, yeah, I don't sit in LA traffic, you know, I'm home before 6. And then I'm like, what do I do till midnight? And so
start a podcast.
after a while, podcast, work on my mixtape. I wish I was writing screenplays, but I'm not working hard enough at it. But a lot of bleaching, a lot of painting, too much painting actually. So
I heard you painted Alex's old apartment.
I painted Alex's old apartment.
I heard
Yeah,
all the walls are.
we'll get into
decked out.
that. We'll get into that another time. But yeah, there's some beautiful stuff on the wall. If you spray paint, wear one of those mask things. I still haven't bought one, but I'm on a hiatus technically because of different situations. that I got myself into. But Big and Bleach were here, and I really should be talking to you more about Big and Bleach. First time bleacher this weekend, our biggest bleach yet at Z's house. A lot of guys from the office, got to meet a lot of my friends, got to meet my VP,
That's
COO, even got a shirt.
There we go.
And not that he's paid for it, but he
I was
still
about to say, I owe
might.
you money for that shirt, don't I?
Even
How much?
technically
Yeah.
got a shirt.
I got a shirt.
So my question is, watching the whole process, the cool thing I think is like my favorite is when people select something up front. So I showed him a couple shirts that I'd got and he's like, oh, Ralph Lauren one, whatever you want, I got you. I was like, bet. So it's like when I was making that, I got to know I was making it for Steve, cooking something special up. But was it fun for you to kind of see the process a little more, see kind of like the shit show that it was?
It was amazing, right? It was cool to see start to finish the project. It's cool to see how much bleach you actually use. I think there was like 30 gallons of bleach all throughout Z's backyard, which was crazy. And it was nice to see the community that you're building overall. All your buddies were there. Obviously watched the game, which was a terrible experience for me, at least, yeah.
Hey, you were having fun there a few moments.
But it was a nice creative outlet, and you're growing a little business, little brand, and
Yeah.
it's awesome to see.
Now that I don't really have anywhere to bleach, it's like more like save up clothes, and then when like a friend will have me over, then we throw a party. So it's like VP John's house. All right, we're cooking up glizzies. We're doing that. I've been begging Z for like a year now, right? Finally, my brother, mashallah, was like, yo, what weekend? And I was like, well, Lions Rams week 1 would be the best weekend. And you know, Z's like the busiest guy.
Busy.
Like he's a popular dude, and so
Invited me to a
hosted.
comedy show this weekend. He's always doing something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
didn't invite me, but you know what? He had us over last week. So also the love of my life's in town, so I ain't going to no f***ing comedy show unless she wants to go to a comedy show. You know what I mean?
Tell me about the love of your life. How'd you meet her?
It's a lot to unpack, but
Yeah.
I mean, why not? So we met as children through the church. Some sort of child performing arts program that we were like the stars of, whatever.
It's back home.
As the lure goes, I once told my mother that I was gonna marry that girl right there. Pointing her out, I was like, that one's me. That's all me right there, forever and always. That one. Fast forward years, like you lose touch with people. You're like we're a child, right? And somehow, I don't know, like get connected again, just like talk like off and on as friends. But then over COVID, we got really close again. Did some BLM protesting, a little rioting too here and there. It was good times. And then I convinced her to drop out of Michigan State because she was really unhappy. And I was like, you should just drop out and move to Hawaii. And I mean, this is like, we did a lot of like talking, like we're always just there for each other. We don't really see each other all the time, but we always just have a lot of good phone calls. It's like when it's a soulmate, it's a soulmate. When your soul's connected, like all you need is the words, like all you need is.
Where's she live now? Or is she just visiting?
So she moved to Hawaii, became a shark diver / photographer for the last couple of years.
That's cool.
What's the hottest profession ever? You know what I mean? Shark diver, photographer.
Doctor.
All right. And Alex likes to flex that he wifed a doctor, and I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him for that.
I'm happy for him too.
And
He's awesome.
yeah, I'll give a quick shout out to Hannah Bang, legend. Legend. You actually see she has a little note that I look at every day.
What does it say? Listen,
It
Alex.
says cookies for GK marketing team, and then there's a heart, and it says Dr. B with another heart. And I always just look at it and I go, she's always with us. And I look over at Alex and I just think, what a lucky guy. Maybe I could find a girl like that to love me. And maybe I did, and I hope I did. We'll see this weekend how things go. So she's in town, Santa Barbara.
She living in Hawaii?
She still lives in Hawaii, but she's just visiting Santa Barbara for some work stuff.
What are you guys doing?
I know exactly. So I think this weekend she's going to come down here, and then I might try to go up to Santa Barbara the next weekend. She's kind of working during the week, so I'm pretty excited. Anything you think that we should do?
By working during the week, is she diving with sharks in Santa Barbara? Is that what's happening?
I don't know
Or
exactly.
is she taking pictures?
I think she's doing like a little bit of both. I think she works like for a family too. Like she does nannying and stuff too. So I think that one of the people, I don't know, I honestly didn't really ask her too much about it. I was just so excited that she's coming. I was just like,
Are you going up to Santa Barbara?
I'm thinking about it. Don't have a car, but I mean, for her, I would take the bus. And I know you think I'm from the streets, but I never rode the bus a day in my life.
A car would be helpful.
Car would be helpful.
Car would be helpful.
Train
would be nice. Train would be best, actually. You could take it all the way up. You could take it up the coast. And Santa Barbara's an amazing city.
I think train could be cool. Train's just more expensive, so maybe we'll see if it's in the budget. Steve's from Orange County, went to SDSU.
Go Aztecs.
What got you into finance? Is it Fox? Is that whole Laura Fox story true, or is that just Fox just being Fox?
So I personally got into finance. I went into college not knowing much about money, right? I was making all the wrong decisions. I had to start working a job, paying for tuition, paying for rent.
Sure.
Got a credit card that I didn't know I had to pay off. I was 19 years old. I thought it was free money, right? One of those ones from the student union. And I looked at the interest payments. I was like, this is terrible. I need to figure this out, right? Yeah. So I started reading books. I started working with some friends of mine who were in clubs, investment clubs already, right? And they were figuring it out at 20 years old, right? And I was like, all right, this is amazing. Relieves a ton of stress for me. Started investing at like 19, 20 years old. It's kind of a long time ago at this point in my life. Before I was like, wow, I was figuring out. I just didn't know anything.
I forgot you're kind of elderly, right? You're over 29, 30?
30 years old.
30, yeah.
30 years old. Recently married.
Time in the market, though, bro. Time in the market, right?
Yeah. So just relieving that stress of kind of learning and going through my own financial journey helped me out a lot. And I want to be able to help other people with their journey as well, right?
That makes sense.
Worked at some major institutions, including Vanguard, the creator of the mutual fund, Charles Schwab in San Joaquin Century City. Then I met Brett and Mike Baker, and I saw, Baker,
SDSU legend.
Yep. So friends of friends met them, and I saw how they were doing things at GK. They're working with younger individuals. Brett's leading the Get Invested program, which focuses on younger individuals, which is really exciting.
I wrote that down.
Right? Yeah, and we'll talk about it in a bit too. And just seeing how they were doing tailored financial planning and helping people with their situation, like yourself, on a higher level than it was at these other institutions. We're fiduciaries, we're independent, we're really getting to know you and build a financial plan for you instead of just treating everything like a transactional relationship like a big bank would. Why? It's very unique, and I was very passionate about that and loved what they were doing and had to come here.
If you know Brett and Baker, you're doing things right.
I hope so.
Quick question before I get to the let's get into it column, but what are you thinking about being for Halloween?
That's a good question. We always do pair costumes. One time I did, Grace and Frankie. I dressed up as Grace, so we'll see what happens. I've done...
Pear I thought you meant the vegetable.
No, pear, like me and Danielle always do it.
Yeah. How long have you guys been together?
Pear's a fruit.
Pear is fruit.
You're a fruit. Go on.
8 years.
8 years.
Yeah,
wow, that's a love story. We'll get into it. Okay, let's brainstorm a couple pairs that we could do real quick. We could do dog and a cat.
All right, let's do vacations. Okay. Let's do love.
When do I use my credit card points to pay off my debt? I've got like almost $200. I spent too much on the Big and Bleach this weekend. I'm worried about it.
How much debt do you have?
I don't technically have debt, but I'm worried I might not be able to pay it off. And I've got like $200 worth of points.
Okay, cool. So credit card points, if you want to be super efficient, right, there's ways you can use it for vacations, hotels, transfer to airlines, whatever it may be.
Sure.
Right? If you're in a pinch, even though it's not always the most cost effective, you can use it dollar for dollar to pay off your credit cards, right? There's faster ways to do it through groceries, which are even better. There's ways you can do it for gasoline, which sometimes you have benefits of.
Sure.
But if you need to, right, it's $200. If you can't pay off your debt, I'd recommend doing it.
Okay.
Right? Then you're not paying high interest. You have your emergency fund still. Everything's in shape.
Don't even have an emergency fund. That's the thing, though.
We're going to help you build an emergency fund over the next couple episodes. We're going to get you a car eventually.
Really?
Yeah, we'll get you a car.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Steve's got a car.
Yeah, I got a car.
I'm going to get one too, or maybe just a moped.
And then let's save up some vacations for you and the love of your life.
I know, because that's the thing is I'm always like, it's taken me so long to tell her that I'm going to go visit her in Hawaii all the time. Yeah. And then even when I got rich, I got this job. I was like, okay, I'm rich now. I'm going to go visit you soon. Yeah. Then I can never swing it.
Have you ever been to Hawaii before?
Never.
Wonderful.
Love of my life's just sitting there.
Which island does she live on?
Kauai.
Kauai is the most beautiful island.
She's the most beautiful girl in the world. So
Garden Island.
Only fits.
So a lot of my clients, what we do is we actually build that into their financial plan. Right, we'll build into vacations, not just points.
Okay.
So like what you're doing with your brokerage account, maybe you save $50, $100 a month into a savings account.
Okay.
Go see the love of your life. Right. It would be about $1,000, $2,000 to get to Hawaii and back, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, staying out there for free, maybe even cheaper.
Okay.
Right, but it's something you got to do.
It's true.
make it happen.
Okay.
It was awesome.
Setting money aside, and I'm gonna skip the kickball talk.
Skip kickball.
I'm gonna add it to final thoughts though, just in case.
Sounds good.
Asking for a raise. It's my 1 year anniversary. What's your advice on how to do it?
Asking for a raise. So this is something I've actually never been good at, right? My wife's very good at it, and she does in a strategic way. Well, she'll come up with how she's helping the company, what exactly she's done in her role, what she's done to excel, and what she plans to do in the future to show that she's providing value to the
I
company.
like this. I didn't write it down, but we got the footage, right?
So your boss or whoever is going to pay you more, right, can see, hey, Chase is doing a lot. He's continuing to bring in revenue or growth for the company.
Yeah.
I want to keep that person around.
And that's up to you guys.
So for you, do you have examples of how you would do that? Any thoughts top of mind? I have some I could give to you.
Okay.
But
I thought I probably was doing it last week, but then I realized that I just showed my boss that I'm just f***ing off all my money on liquor and t-shirts. So
there's some things that you could do that you're great at, right? Say, hey, like I've led X amount of events that have brought in X amount of revenue for GK.
true. Yeah.
I've done this initiative where I've started a podcast, right? Trying to bring in more clients.
and I'm back in school.
I host all the Get Invested happy hours, right?
do
In
those.
which I bring in people.
Yeah. Were you at
And
the one at the Edgemar?
I was not at the one at the Edgemar.
It was a good time. Alex,
Yeah, it was great.
best happy hour yet?
No, I've been to really good happy hours in the past years I've been here. It was good.
Ouch.
Best happy hour since I've worked here, maybe? Well, what about the one with my brother where you slept on Chayton's couch? Was that fun?
That wasn't a happy hour. We just played golf together.
And what did we do after?
We went to dinner.
Okay. Alex is in a mood, I think.
Yeah, I need you to talk about. I need some usable content here.
All right.
I agree. Wedding.
Steve, you're
combining
married
Finances, yeah.
to a woman.
To a woman.
To
Danielle.
a woman.
Yes.
And how's that going?
It's going great. As long as I've been married so far.
Wow. And when is like the ideal time? Like when did you know it was time to get married? You've been with her for 8 years since college. When did you really know you knew you had the girl, but when did you know that you had the finances to really tie the knot?
Yeah. So about 3 or 4 years in, I knew I was going to get married to her. It was just taking time, right? To save for a ring, to save for a wedding. Those are big expenses, right? So we planned everything together, was able to save up, got her a ring that she absolutely loved, proposed to her in Mexico City, which was beautiful.
Oh.
Right? Yeah. Very
romantic.
fun. Very fun. Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Cool. Yeah. We did a trip there, which was great. We'd never been there before. I had hired a photographer online, which was great. And I knew he was going to follow us in the morning.
Stud right here.
Right. So we went to this beautiful museum that overlooks the whole city. I had spotted the photographer at one point, and that's when I really started to get nervous, get the heart palpitations. I'm freaking out.
Yeah,
I actually
dude.
love museums, right? And I'm skipping through the whole thing because I'm like, I want to get this proposal done. I want to make this happen. I want to enjoy my day.
She's like, but I want to look at the art.
Exactly. I'm like, let's go look outside real quick.
Let's
Let's
go
check out
look
the view. She's like,
outside.
what's going on?
There's a pigeon that needs its wings.
And then did the proposal there, which is great. So
Did you get down on one knee?
I got down on one knee, had a speech, which I stumbled through barely because I was so nervous. The pictures looked much better than it was. Then had a wonderful day.
Okay, so did you get the speech verbatim? Did you even try to memorize it, or did you just kind of say what was
Just
on your mind?
Everything on my mind at that point.
You
I
just-
had something planned, but it just didn't happen at that time.
But you love her,
I love her.
and you knew,
I know.
and she knew.
And she knew.
So sometimes when your souls connect, the words just don't even really matter.
Yeah. So now we've been working on combining finances.
And
right?
what's
and
that
what
like?
to do after the wedding.
Yeah.
So you're going through a lot of things together.
Wait. Tell me more about pre-wedding, because I heard those things are expensive.
Weddings are expensive, right? So I'll be completely honest. It was more expensive than I thought it was going to be. I wasn't able to save as much as I wanted to.
But did you save
Right.
more money getting hitched in Vegas?
No.
But wait,
Because we had the actual wedding in
there
Barcelona.
was also a destination wedding.
Yes.
That my Instagram's been flooded with for months of all these gorgeous pictures of you and all your friends living this extremely lavish vacation lifestyle, and then there's another monstrous, gorgeous, extremely beautiful honeymoon of you and your wife just living up the dream of party
sure.
time, love, extravaganza, bananas.
For sure. So over probably a year before the wedding, instead of saving towards a house account, right, most of our funds are going to a brokerage account or going to a savings account, right, where we're able, we're able to build up and pay for all these things. To be completely honest, you start looking at flowers, you start looking at dinner plates and everything else. It's a beautiful, beautiful day, but it takes a hit on your financial plan.
You got to buy the dinner plates for the wedding?
You got to pay for each person there, right? So let's say I invited them.
That's why they say
it's going to be an extra $150 per
$250 a plate, $250 a head.
That's exactly what they say.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So
Father of the Bride, good movie.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
So for us, savings wise, it's just everything was wedding focus. Beautiful day I'll remember for the rest of my life, right? But it's expensive, right? It's something you got to plan around, something you got to put together, and something you got to make sure you and your partner are on the same page.
Where was the actual reception?
So the wedding was in Barcelona.
And how do you say
Spain.
it though?
Barcelona or
Barcelona? Like, isn't there
Barcelona?
Barcelona?
We should probably ask Alex this one.
Alex, how do you say Barcelona?
I took French in high school.
Maybe I'm thinking of Ibiza. Ibiza. You were in Ibiza, right?
We did Ibiza too.
And where else did you go?
We went to Malta.
Malta.
We went to Sicily. We went to Paris.
Paris.
Yep.
Wow.
So for us,
and how could you afford all that?
A lot of savings.
A lot of savings.
Right. So you put off certain things. We're going to get a house later than some people because we wanted to have a big wedding with our friends and family.
Yeah. And that's kind of what you do with other people. Is you look through the finances, and it's hard to look through your finances, but the fun part is you get to decide what you want to do with your money.
Correct.
And
how you want to live your life.
Yeah. And so are there any regrets there? Do you think this was a great financial decision?
Absolutely.
Would you encourage someone else to do it?
I would. If that's something that's on their mind. Some people want big weddings. Some people want small weddings. Some people want a bleach company.
Yeah,
right?
Empire.
Some people want to go to Hawaii. Yeah. We help build plans around whatever you want to do, right?
That's
so
cool.
Tell me a little bit more about you, what you want to do with your money. Tell me about your goals.
Yeah.
Short term, medium term, long term. We'd love to hear about it.
Well, that's more a question for my advisor, so don't try to poach me, Steve.
So no.
I've got my own advisor, brother.
No, it's not poaching you, right? But I want to hear what your goals are. I'm sure the pod does too, yeah.
No, short-term goals. We've actually talked about this. I think Alex, he's not in his head. He's very excited. My goals are establish emergency fund.
Great.
And then other than that, same goal I've had for a while is just save up $10K liquid, move to Hawaii, and live out my dreams with the love of my life. That's it.
What are you going to do after that?
Just sit on a beach every day and dance in the moonlight and learn how to surf, swim with sharks, photography.
You don't think you get bored? Just living?
With her, never.
It's awesome. Cool girl.
We'll see this weekend. Don't actually know her that well, but just kidding. Not really. All right. So about your wife, though.
Yeah.
Does Danielle not like me, or is she just mean to everyone?
I think it might be specifically you.
You think so?
No. She likes
I
you.
always
She
get
likes to
that.
mess with you.
She's the best.
Yeah. It's great.
I don't know. What else do I want to say that's going to get edited out?
Combining finances.
So this is something that I just did too, and it's very interesting.
Yeah.
To people, maybe not to you.
Alex just got married.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
Alex, this could be your episode.
About a year and a half ago. So.
Yeah, a week before I got, hired.
Yeah. So maybe talk about that. I don't know. It's gonna probably not play into your whole Hawaii plan, but it's interesting to some people.
So what do you guys? Okay, so you get married. You dip a little bit in your house fund for this unbelievable wedding. It's worth it because it's the most special day of your life with most special girl and all the most special people in your life. I wasn't invited, but I'll get over it. But now you're back. You've got to turn 2 bank accounts into one. You've got to turn, I know she's got a great job. I know she's probably been investing for a while. If she's been with you for 8 years, her finances got to be together. So you got to turn all these accounts. It's all up there in the universe and it's there.
Yeah.
But how do you take it and just, hit them together and merge them? The weddings of the accounts, right?
100%.
100%.
So you're exactly right. You kind of got to put everything together and you got to communicate and be very open with each other. What your goals are, what you're trying to do. And there's some things you may see that, maybe you didn't know about your partner, right? Maybe they're spending a little too much on Amazon.
Little Amazon debt.
Exactly.
And?
Maybe you don't realize. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I buy a little more of the dinners, right? Maybe I
Okay.
spend a little bit more on liquor stores,
Yeah.
markets, whatever it may be.
Sure.
Right. Whatever it is. But for us, what we did is we combined accounts. We share everything through a shared platform. We use Monarch at the moment. I know GK is coming up with a platform where we are going to be able to aggregate outside accounts and put everything
sweet.
together, which is going to be pretty exciting.
By the time I get married, maybe?
By the time you get married, the financial planning should be a little bit better. We're working on the software.
Okay.
And then we really have put a savings plan, as you have done already, for a home.
Okay.
Right? So we're already doing retirement. That's always been on track.
Nice.
Now that the wedding budget's done, we've shifted that funds to savings for a house, for a non-retirement account. So eventually we can hopefully
Sure.
buy a place in Southern California together, and we're seeing it build and grow in a joint account. It's combined. She has a credit card of mine, so we can see everything that's spent there
Okay.
as well,
Yeah.
right? And overall, it's just focusing on the emotional side and being a team and being a unit.
And that's rates?
That's
Rates has something to do with it, though, right? So home
It's-
buying.
home buying.
And so
Sure,
now you're looking
sure.
around and you want to live in LA and you're like, this is the most expensive place in the world to buy a house.
top 10.
And I noticed that you said Southern California because that's smart. It doesn't always have to be in LA.
Yeah. I love West Heights,
problem
LA, but
is-
it's not particularly cheap.
And the problem is that OC is not much cheaper.
It's a little bit cheaper, but not much.
South
no.
Bay.
South Bay,
I could see you there.
Valley, Topanga
Valley.
Canyon,
Topanga would be sweet. Topanga
all
would
those
be a
types
good
of
place
areas
to
you can
live.
save a good amount of money.
So how do you do it? And when do you know when the rates are right?
So you start to save for down payment, right? And then we'll work with our advisor, we'll work with our partners and mortgage lenders, we'll work with real estate agents to see what we can actually afford.
Okay.
Right? You want to make sure there's something that can fit into your monthly budget.
Sure.
Try and keep that less than 30% of your gross income.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And we want to make sure that we have extra funds as well. And we're not just spending all our money on a house and everything that comes from our paychecks or paying towards our monthly mortgage.
And that's a mortgage is like you have to put a down payment and then it's basically like paying rent, except if you pay it, then you'll own the home.
Correct. You're borrowing from the bank, right? That's where the interest rates come from. So you're going to pay them a bit of interest.
And the banks actually loan each other money and it's set by the Fed, the rates that they can loan each other money. And then they also loan money to you.
That's actually correct.
Yep.
Right. So the Federal Reserve.
Rates!
You're crushing the rates, right? The Federal Reserve sets the rate. The bank can or lend each other money at that rate. And the banks do mortgages, which is something that's interesting for you, is based off the 10-year treasury
Yeah.
curve.
Okay.
Right. So as that goes down, mortgage rates go down. It makes the monthly payment more affordable for homeowners.
Wow. And what do you think about buying a condo instead of a home? Is that something you'd want to do, or are you set on the home?
I'm personally looking for something with a backyard. I don't care if it's a condo. I don't
For
care
some
if it's a
bleaching
house.
or what?
For bleaching, for having people over, for a barbecue, for dogs, whatever it may be. Everyone's goals are different, right? But I'm trying to get something with a backyard.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah,
Have some space.
some space, run around a little bit.
Yeah. You know,
Cool,
whole nine.
cool. And I wasn't sure if I should bring this up, but I did hear a bit of a rumor about you. Probably have to edit this out, but I did want to ask while you were here. People are saying that Steve might be adding another member to the family.
I might get another dog.
Oh.
Yeah. It's exciting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And- I was trying to build some more suspense there, but
Oh, yeah. I missed that.
I was thinking. So, okay, first of all, you've been living with this dog for what, 24 hours now?
24 hours.
And how did night one go?
Night one was amazing.
Really?
She was sweet. She's
She's
nice.
sweet?
So the dog itself, we're adopting from one of our coworkers, Elizabeth.
Elizabeth, shout out, big support of the pod.
Yeah.
Viv canceled another meeting, but what are you gonna do?
She fosters dogs, picked the dog up from a meat truck in China.
Yeah.
Came over to Elizabeth's house. She's had trouble, having people adopt the dog because the dog's so shy, right? Most golden retrievers is what she is. Very excitable, very coming up to you, very going to lick you as soon as they seen you.
Yeah.
This dog's timid to herself, but she's really opened up with us and
Yeah.
might be a new member of the family.
Okay. Well, how are you gonna know if it's time to adopt?
We're hanging out with her. We're making sure she vibes with our dog. She's going to go down and see our families and everything's good to go. We're good to bring
Okay.
her
And what are
bring her
you
on board.
thinking about for names?
up in the air right
Okay.
now. Molly is up there, or Malta.
Molly.
Her name currently is Paula, so we want to keep it similar. Winnie, just because he looks like a Winnie the Pooh type
Paula.
dog. I'm open to ideas here.
Paula. Like, what about Mall Cop or something?
No.
Paula. Thinking Parrot, Paw. What about Paw?
Something with like an LA sound would be nice. Dakota. Is it also a name out there?
Oh, Donda.
Donda's not bad.
Donda
There
could
you
be
go.
cool. Named
Donda's
after
not
Donda
bad.
West, the
Yeah.
great.
Donda's not bad either.
Donda. You know that song?
I don't. We talk about getting vested.
Yeah, 1 second though. We should first talk about, let's say you want to adopt Donda. What do you do before you're going to bring a dog? How are you going to financially prepare? Because that's a big cost. I actually wanted to adopt a dog from Elizabeth about 3 months ago on Memorial Day, Labor Day. Me and my roommate took one of her dogs, ate some. We went out camping with this dog. Best day of our life. Fell in love with it. Named it Laszlo. And then my financial advisor said that I couldn't afford it. Also, I'm allergic to dogs.
Ouch.
But I'm not that allergic. But she said it's a big financial cost. And so you're married. You're thinking about a kid maybe down the line. First, you want to get a house. Is this dog going to be too significant of a financial burden considering you already have one?
No, not for us at least. One, adopting a dog is much cheaper than buying a dog.
Oh,
Right.
I forgot. You got to pay like a couple grand for this thing, right?
Not for this dog, no.
Oh, nice. They tried to charge me $3,000 for the last one.
For the retriever?
Yeah.
I gotta talk to Elizabeth then if that's the case.
I was like, what?
I don't think so.
$3,000, bro. Yeah. it was
Got to get pet
steep.
insurance. Got to make sure you can take care of the dog. You got to have all the dog toys.
Wait.
gotta have the bowls.
What did you say?
Hold on.
Pet insurance?
Pet insurance.
Pet insurance.
Insurance for your pet if they get sick. Just like humans have health insurance, pets get issues too. Story I have is our dog India. She was 6 months old. She swallowed a sock. Right? Goes in. We don't know what's going to happen to her. She's laying in the bathtub looking real sick. We're like, this is a problem.
Damn.
We take her in. She has to get surgery, right? Get things taken out. It's probably about $8,000 or so. right?
Holy shit.
The time we're 25, 24, right? We are just trying to make it in LA. We don't have the most saved up, barely an emergency fund. We're scrapping by. Pet insurance saved us a ton of money, thousands of dollars.
Damn,
to help cover that.
What's the monthly looking like
Right.
for average pet standard?
I think it depends on the pet, depends on the breed, everything else. I believe we pay like $65 a month.
Okay.
And then just like anything else, there's a deductible, there's a maximum. We can help with those causes. If you are a pet lover,
Yeah.
we can look into that for you, make sure you're taken care of.
And another thing is renter's insurance.
Yeah.
I pay $7 a month for my renter's insurance, and it's nice to know I'm covered.
Yeah.
So there's that. Okay, so it brings us down to final thoughts. I was going to bring up your Ozempic allegations, but I don't think we have time for that. I also wrote down financial marathon. So I'll just say it. The thing about finance and financial planning is it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. R.I.P. Nip. And that's where I'm at right now. And it's about long-term building. So when you put in money away, it doesn't always feel like you're saving for your retirement. I know you're like me, you're sitting there thinking, well, I'll probably be dead by 65, right? But don't think like that. Put it away, let it compound interest. Time beats money every time. Is that what you're going to say?
It's probably better than I would have said it. That's great.
Cool. And you run marathons too. That's why I wrote it down.
Yeah, I like to run marathons. I like the challenge. Run some cool places. It's great.
And do you think that financial marathons is a real concept, or is that just something I made up?
I think it's something that could be a real concept.
Cool. And
Looks
how
like
do
a
you
good
train?
thing. For a financial marathon or for a marathon?
Both.
Financial marathon and a marathon is about consistency. Right? Doing a little bit at each time, a couple miles a week. You know, it doesn't seem like a lot at first. Start with 3 miles, then you're doing 10 miles, then you're doing 20, 30 mile weeks. Same with savings, right? Start with $100, $200 a week, $200 a month.
And now how much am I
Whatever
putting
it
in,
is.
Alex? Let
Now
them
you're
know.
up to 800. Crush.
Sorry, Mia just texted me. Mia just texted, don't yell. So I'm going to
Yeah.
say sorry about that one later. Okay. And then I was going to say, what is Social Security?
You want to try and do Social Security here right now?
Should we save that for next
Yeah, should we try
episode?
it?
No, I mean, if he wants to know, he wants to know.
Yeah. Okay. Social Security is you're paying taxes
Okay.
into the government
Okay.
on each of your paychecks, right? You're going to see
Yeah.
it's coming out. There's going to be a line item there, right? And with that,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to go ahead and get payments for the rest of your life in retirement.
And now,
At
and
retirement age.
Yeah. Okay. I
Okay. So
remember.
you're paying in a certain percentage, right? There's a huge calculation based on how much you've made, how many payments you've paid into the system, right? And then once you retire, full retirement age is about 67 now, right? You get a couple $1,000s a month. The longer you wait, the more you can get, right? So you put in money for X amount of time.
And you put it in for yourself, or it's like a big pot?
You're putting it in for yourself, but everyone is putting it into this large pot
Okay.
through the government.
Through the
Right, so
government.
I'm putting it in. Alex is putting it in. You're putting
And
it in.
I'm putting in, that's my
Right.
taxes, right? So
That's
why
part of your
I'm-
taxes. Yes.
It says 2,800 on my paycheck, but then I only get paid $2,000.
Yeah, because part of it you're putting in
Social
this big pot.
Security.
Social Security.
But if they don't have the card, then they don't get the money when they're 65.
Could you repeat that?
If they don't have the card, then they don't get the money. The Social Security card, they
You-
don't get the money when they're 67.
You do have to have a Social Security number and a Social Security card.
Yeah.
You're going to work with the Social Security Administration, and you want to make sure that you're doing it in the best way for yourself.
And do we
right?
all pay the same, or is it taxed based on how much you make?
It's taxed based on how much you make,
Okay.
right?
But then in the end, do you all get the same, or do you get paid out based off how much you've put in?
you get paid out based on how much you put in.
Oh, okay.
Okay, right. So
yeah.
a little bit's going to each person. Some people can get more who are higher income earners. They've obviously paid more into it. Some people depend on it more than others. Our goal is to have Social Security kind of as a background, a nice supplemental, some play money for you.
Okay.
Go to Hawaii with it, right?
Yeah.
we
Hopefully
wanna
I'll be
have
living in Hawaii by then.
We want to have
but-
these other retirement accounts as well
Yeah.
to have supplements your lifestyle.
Okay, cool. Final thoughts. We should talk about Get Invested.
I got glasses
The
too.
big-
I actually brought glasses.
Oh,
I
that was my last one. So my
Yeah.
final ones were Get Invested. Why didn't Baker come to my bleach event, but he went to your wedding? And then my last one was, should I get glasses? So let's hit these last
All right,
three.
should we do it in order?
We got 8 minutes left. It's perfect. Let's talk about Get Invested first.
Cool. So
Happy hours.
happy hours is one thing. Get Invested is a program that we created to help individuals from the very beginning of their financial lives.
It's me.
There's no other firm that's actually doing this at the level that we are.
Yeah.
Right, we're helping people at the very beginning, teaching them what a stock is, teaching them what a bond is, teaching them what a Roth IRA is, what a brokerage account is, and helping them build up their financial lives.
And that's how we met.
And that's how we met, right?
I referenced this last episode, and I actually forgot until now that Steve was there. But when Mia used to come into my work program and try to encourage us to, quote, get invested and learn about financial literacy and learn about the value of compound interest if you're only putting away a couple $100 a month, and I wouldn't listen at all, and I would just be, silly. And how did we meet, Steve? What do you remember about that day?
I remember I gave a presentation with Mia. There were some students asking some great questions,
Yeah.
including your boy, the VP, I believe, was there.
VP John was
Yeah,
there,
he was
bro.
asking some
Hell
good
yeah.
questions.
Hell yeah.
Chase came up a little bit goofy and was asking some silly questions, trying to get a free hat, everything else.
Yeah.
Um,
Trying to impress Mia. And it worked,
Trying
by
to
the
impress
way.
me. I guess
And it worked, by the way.
It worked. Yeah, that's all I remember.
That was a really good day.
Anyways, more about the program though.
Yeah.
Big banks aren't doing this. No one else is doing this. We're really just passionate about it and trying to help people from the very beginning and pass on the education
Yeah.
that we didn't have, right? And that we're trying to give to everybody else.
And that's why we were founded, is we were founded after this massive, quote, recession.
Sure.
And all these people are confused, and there's all these crooked banks, and we're trying to figure out how can we actually be different from the rest.
Sure. Yeah.
And
Tailing
I was
on
only
that.
7 years old at that time.
We're independent, which means we don't have products to sell you, right? We're fiduciaries. We're legally obligated to do what's in the best interest of you. Overall, we just charge fees on the account. So when you do well-
wait. You used a big word there. Fiduciary?
Fiduciary
Fiduciary.
Yeah.
What does that mean exactly?
means we're legally obligated to do what's in the best interest of you with your money.
Okay.
right? So we're not going to take big risks so we make more money. We're not going to sell you products that, are going to pay us a commission that aren't in the best interest of you. We're really doing things that we would do ourselves in your situation.
So you're saying like these big, like other financial advisors, they're like actually like selling you, or like they're trying to, they have an agenda of some sort is what you're kind of
an agenda. They'll sell products from their organization, right? You'll say you'll be at ABC Bank. They'll sell you ABC mutual funds. They'll charge ABC fees on the way in and out. Very transactional relationship. It's just
that
different.
sounds corrupt as
It's not the best. It's not the best system. That's why we were created the way we were.
That's why I'm glad to be a client at GK, because I trust my advisor. And also, even if I didn't, she's legally obligated to do what's in my best interest, and that's called a fiduciary. I thought we were all going to say it together.
I was just making sure you got it still.
All right, cool. Well, I'm glad we covered that. Last two things. One is, why didn't Baker come to my bleach event on Sunday, but he did go to your wedding? Do you have any idea why that might be?
I think the wedding might have been a little cooler.
Okay. Ouch. By cooler, you meant what? He traveled across the world, but he couldn't even come from Torrance?
I think
Where does Baker live?
I think we have a great time. Yes, he lives in Torrance.
Nice. I knew it. All right. Well, we'll probably just edit that out, but it was a funny question. Just keep the question in there.
Glasses?
Well, this has been a really great episode of Finding Finance. Before I do an outro, before I let Steve get the hell on with the important things he has to do with his day, I did want to ask you one final question.
What's that?
Should I get glasses?
You want to try some on?
You really brought them?
I really brought.
Okay, but here's the thing. I have a monstrous head. So if I try on your glasses, they might not fit the same after.
Some of them are Amazon, so we can try those first.
Let's go. You brought multiple?
I brought multiple.
Let's go. Best day ever.
Those are mine. Don't try those on yet. Here, see how you look. Those are dusty.
Ooh, these are like my brother's ones. It calls them the Harry Potters. I don't like it.
Do we look smarter?
I don't like it at all, honestly. I mean, we got to keep them on for the rest of the episode, but
Honestly, yep. I think that solves our answer. I think no.
I think no. I've always said this, and I'll say it again. I'm only, if I do get glasses, I'm getting buffed up. I'll get some like really expensive Cartiers. Probably spend at least $2,000 to $3,000. That actually wasn't my financial plan initially. But
They're starting to grow on me. You look a little smarter.
what did we discuss today? We discussed a lot of important things. I'm talking Social Security. I'm talking home buying. You guys finally got to meet the love of my life. Little phone call from my mom. I don't know if we got that. We might have. Got to talk about Steve's wife. Got to talk about Alex's wife. How, what happens when you get married when it comes to financial goals changing? What happens when you're bringing bank accounts together? Would you rather buy a home? Would you rather have an amazing wedding that Baker goes to when he doesn't come to my bleach event? These are important things. And what's really interesting is that this company, I'm finding out more and more, is one of the only honest ones. One of the only ones that cares about what your actual financial goals are and works with you to figure that out. I've said this before. I'll say it again. Mia's just don't grow on trees. But when it comes to financial charisma, I don't know. But when it comes to...
What the hell are you talking about?
No, I was making a point there.
You're talking about Steve, not me. We're trying to.
I'm getting there.
Okay, get there.
Mia Samsons don't grow on trees. But when it comes to financial morality and making the best decisions for your clients, at this company, they do. This company, they're all around us. People that really give a fuck about their clients, expressing what's most important to them and helping them grow to become the people that they want to be, whether that's financial literacy or something totally different. Who knows? Steve, we talked about a lot today. And aside from all the bullshit, I really learned a lot about Social Security. I learned a lot about, we talked about Alex. What else did we talk about?
Talked about combining finances. when you
Combining
get married.
finances.
Dogs, dog and pet insurance.
And don't f around and forget about pet insurance, by the way. It's important. Okay? Steve's dog ate a sock. You want to pay $8,000 for that? You got $8,000? No, you're going to put your dog down like a heartless son of a Not Steve. Steve got the insurance, and he works with his clients to make sure they get the pet insurance that their dog deserves. Look, I almost finished the Celsius, and I'm getting pretty excited, so I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Today, we talked about a lot of amazing things. We talked about rates again. We talked about becoming financially literate, emergency funds. We talked about tailoring your budget and your savings account to match your needs. And apparently, you don't get that at every other company. So, what am I going to do moving forward? I'm going to keep saving. I doubled my contributions. And that's because my advisor told me to do so. And I'm going to do it. And I'm going to make Steve proud so that the next time he's on here, I got that emergency fund. I got that ticket to Hawaii. Maybe I even got a kid on the way. We'll see. Steve, can't thank you enough for being a real mentor around this company, a real friend to me. You know, we hung out Saturday and Sunday. And yeah, maybe it was a work event, but it felt like just two best friends kicking it.
Always a pleasure.
Learned a lot about finance today, and I know I've got big shoes to fill moving forward. So the final thing I want to ask you is, do the glasses stay or do the glasses go?
I think they go.
Nothing but trouble on my mind. That's the attitude that got my ass off the sidelines. You either ride pine and cry about playing time, or you play the game divine.